The Senate approved a $1.2 trillion funding deal, sending the bill to President Biden. But while Congress averted a government shutdown, House Republicans couldn't avert a lot of internal chaos. In fact, Friday was a very, very bad day for House Speaker Mike Johnson. Not only is Johnson now facing a looming battle over his speakership thanks to that motion to vacate filed by Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's also dealing with a dwindling House majority, with Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher announcing plans to leave Congress next month. Republicans will soon be able to lose just one vote if all Democrats vote together on legislation. Joining us now, Mariana Sotomayor, congressional reporter for The Washington Post. Welcome, Mariana.
Mariana, as I watch this all play out, I got to ask you, is there more frustration in the Republican caucus with Marjorie Taylor Greene or with Speaker Johnson?
I would say with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's something that I heard from even far-right members from the House Freedom Caucus, that they're not taking this too seriously simply because, as many Republicans pointed out, she's someone who seeks attention. So it'll be interesting to see, though, if Greene, she did file this motion not under any special privileges that would actually force the House to consider this question of to vacate the speaker. But if she does, she could do that at any point in time. You know, that is where that question is really going to weigh on a number of Republicans. And there are really frustrated far-right members who are just upset by the vote that we saw yesterday and a number of other things that Johnson has so far done.
You know, Mike Lawler, who is a Republican out of New York, sits in one of those districts that we talk about, 18 districts that a Republican represents, but Joe Biden won in 2020. He has something to say about all of this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that motion to vacate, and Democrats potentially assisting. I want to play what he had to say and talk about it on the other side.
The issues are on our side, but we have to show that we can govern and that we can work as a unit. Doing things like this obviously make chaos and create unnecessary distractions. It's the responsibility of the Democrats not to partake in something that undermines our government. You know, the reality is, Hakeem Jeffries always says, people over politics. Well, show that. Show that right now by making it clear you're not going to team up with Marjorie Taylor Greene to remove the speaker for keeping the government open.
Now, I will note the last time a House Republican tried to talk to the Democrats about what they need to do and use harsh language.
Keep trying to put it on the Democrats.
That's what I'm saying. Remember,
they didn't bring the motion to vacate.
Come on now. Remember Speaker McCarthy when he went out there the Sunday before another big vote? I feel like it's Groundhog's Day. He did the Sunday shows and he said something about how Democrats, whatever democracy, and Democrats were like, you're not going to talk to us like this. We do not have your back. I think that what I heard from Mike Lawler lets me know that they are very concerned, right? I would argue House Republicans are very concerned about what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing. But I just don't think the finger wagging to Democrats is going to work for them. But I could be wrong. Mariana, I don't know.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation because a lot of House Democrats in particular were really annoyed that, to your point, Simone, that Speaker Kevin McCarthy was always talking down at them, never went formally to Jeffries to make that ask of, hey, I need your help. That's why Democrats backed off. It's different with Johnson. Democrats actually kind of like him as a person. And the one fundamental thing, though, I will say, is that both Jeffries and a number of House Democratic leadership aides that I've talked to said they will only bail Johnson out if the motion to vacate question comes forth, if he puts the supplemental bill on the floor to fund Ukraine, Israel, the Indo-Pacific. So that is a little different. Something to watch.
So the reality for the House right now is Marjorie Taylor Greene is Kevin McCarthy's parting gift to the House of Representatives, and it's a gift that keeps on giving over and over again, where to the point where you'd want a bad penny in your pocket. That's how useful all of her antics are. So now you have Mike Gallagher also stirring the pot, Mariana, by saying, you know what, I'm not going to run for re-election. And then, oh, you know what, again, I'm going to leave before the term is over. Oh, you know what, even better than that, I'm going to leave after the period that my state can replace me and put someone else in the seat so we can have a better majority. So now we're down to one member deciding not to go the right way if all the Democrats hold it. And I would argue in most situations, the Democrats are going to hold as a block on any vote.
They've been good about Speaker McCarthy has kept his caucus together. Pardon me, not Speaker McCarthy, Lord.
Hakeem Jeffries
Hakeem Jeffries
has kept his caucus pretty tight. Yeah. What's your read on how Speaker Johnson navigates this new terrain with just one vote, literally between getting a bill passed and keeping his seat?
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be incredibly difficult, and Johnson has said that this himself, just how hard it is to govern an ungovernable majority, not to mention the fact when it's literally.
So he's referred to his own majority as ungovernable.
Oh, yeah.
I love
and
it.
it's going to get more complicated, but here's the thing. They, as in House leadership, Republican leadership, has been able to figure out how to pass things without their majority. The House, as we know it,
with
Democrats, has always passed things through simple majority, right? That's it. They are now suspending that rule, that procedural hurdle, and saying, no, we need 2/3 of the House to just be able to do all of these things. That's why we've seen the House actually be able to, quote unquote, govern on these bigger questions. But that has really, really, really cannot even stress how much it has upset the far right.
Can I just push back on one? Well, not push back, but I mean, has this House governed, though, or have they just barely funded the government every time it needed to be funded?
Yeah. When it comes to the must-pass, need to address, or the country's going to collapse,
governing.
They have been able to reach that point. But to your point, though, House Republicans haven't even been able to pass their own bills that they care about because they just don't have the votes. They won't be able to impeach Biden because they do not have the votes. And we're starting to hear
that. Well, that's why
yes,
I thought it was interesting with Mike Waller saying in the clip we heard that, you know, we've got the issues on our side. I'm like, dude, really? I mean, because if you did, then I think this would be easy, wouldn't it? So it's not the complication of, you know, the issues. It is the complication of an ungovernable majority that is fractured across the board on not just what they want to put out there, but even how to negotiate with an administration that arguably is in a much weakened position given where the president's polls numbers are and things like that. They seem to keep giving life to Democrats on a number of these issues.
Yeah, and now I will say that exact question of what does it mean to govern has actually spilled onto the campaign trail. We are seeing sitting members of Congress actually going out and campaigning against their own colleagues. Because when you talk to those, you know, like the Mike Lawler who say, I actually want to govern, I want to pass bills. They're like, we need more rational people like that to make up our majority. You talk to the Freedom Caucus and someone like Matt Gaetz to say, no, no, no. We could be a functioning governing majority if we had more of our point of view, even though that is a group that has constantly threatened the pragmatic Republicans who are trying to pass bills.
Well, I'm sorry.
Michael, let's just pull up two headlines from this week. One, you have the House Republican budget calling for raising the retirement age for Social Security. Then this from HuffPo, majority of House Republicans endorsing abortion ban that threatens IVF. I mean, just to put some color on what you said, that the issues, Michael, are not on their side.
No, and that's the reality, I think, that they're facing right now. Let's put it that way. The leadership understands going into this cycle, this election cycle, they have severely disadvantaged themselves. Now I think people, Mariana, can actually see a little bit more clearly why McConnell was like, you know what? I don't know the House. I have no idea what they're doing over there. We're going to stay on our own track and promote our thing as best we can. That separation between the House and the Senate has been more stark over the last year than I think it's been in a long time because of these types of headlines that you see. And that's not where the American people are.
Absolutely. I mean, it has been quite incredible to see just how segmented the Republican Party within the Capitol has become. We obviously knew that there are different points of views in the Republican Party, but just how stark the issues have been and have been playing out the last couple of elections has really made it difficult for Republicans to even say where they are on certain things. For example, the IVF question, that is something that the NRCC, they are around to recruit and help House candidates, House Republican incumbents. They're telling candidates, go out there and talk about your personal stories on IVF. Go talk about it. But then there's things like this, where a majority of Republicans sign on to this.
And then the letter from members to Dennis over at the Veterans Affairs. Like I have been saying for a while, you have to watch what they are doing. Don't just listen to what they say, whoever they is.
If it makes you feel any better, I have already put evac on alert. He's ready to go if it comes to that. General, I can assure you.
Hey, General, let me into the war room to see you, so I had to hack my way onto this frequency.
This better be critical, Wheelie.
So, come on, when is it not, please? Okay, couple of things. I'm running low on the dough. I was thinking about taking a couple of months sick leave, maybe starting today. And, oh yeah, I intercepted a transmission from Megatron.
Then send it through.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. And so I'll assume that we're good on the other stuff.
This is your last warning, insects. Relinquish what remains of the Allspark.
So who's the insect? You? What? Who's the insect?
Protect you. They were defeated on our world, and we will defeat them here.
The Megatron.
This was just a diversion. Security, please bring up. Rabbit, she's already inside. Deeds! Give me an update on that reserve. Boss readiness. What was his name? What was it?
Evac, sir.
Evac.
She's right in front.
We are facing a heavy sustained attack. They appear to be after the Allspark. General! General! Need this immediately, General. Evacuate. National security stand down. Check it out. Failed their business operations. The amateurs for suicide mission.